Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do the Easter block. The April block, which also is Easter. So for that I sewed all my strips together. Well, not all my strips, everything but the border there. And I think I told you they'd be 12 and a half, I believe. I'll have to wait till I get to that part, because we need to trim them. I might have to take a look back and see, because I just got home from vacation yesterday. So anyways, I just sewed all my strips together, except for the border. And now we're going to trim it down. And I do believe I'm going to look before I cut this. Like I said, I just got home and settled. So let's see what the measurement is. Sorry, I probably should have done this before I got on here, but I said 13 inches, but that's just so we have enough to trim. You do want to cut it down to 12 and a half. So I am going to, I got my camera stand here, so this might be a little awkward to show you, but I'm going to do it as easily as possible. So I lined up down here on this corner at my mat, and now I'm going to line up on this stitch line here. You can't see that. I'm going to line it up then on this stitch line, and also on the 12 and a half inch line over here. So as long as my lines here are straight and this line is straight on the 12 and a half on both of them, I'm good. So I'm going to just slice that off. The other side was already even because I had already done it on my, I used to work at McDonald's. Still wear those shirts. They're comfortable and I paid money for them, so you know. So I just had sewn these together random. So now you just want to see which one you want to be the top of your egg and which one you want to be the bottom. And I'm going to make this the top because I like these stripes down here for the bottom. So you're going to take your two 2-inch pieces and your two 3-inch pieces. And I do have the tape on my sewing machine I use now, but I'm going to do this anyway for those of you who don't. We're just going to line it up corner to corner and draw a line. Your fabric will move a little, but as long as you get the gist of it. It should be fine. This is a friction pen. The ink will erase with heat, so I use them for sewing all the time. I love them. Well, for quilting. Like if I'm making garments or anything, I'll use chalk. Because on the off chance that this doesn't come off, I don't want it on a pair of pants or a shirt or something. So we're going to take these, and the top one is going to be the bigger blocks. So you're just going to line it up on the corners here. We're going to pin. And then we'll do this one. Let's pin it. And then same thing on the bottom. You're going to line it up with the corner or the line you made going, well, not going into the point. Meaning if you did it like this, that's wrong, because why would you sew that? So just line it up not at the corner, like at the corner, but not going towards the corner. So now we're just going to head over to the sewing machine and we're going to sew down through all these. But first, I like to show you how I actually do it. I do chain piece. So we're going to take 3 of these. That is our border. Lay the other one to the side. And we're going to take 3 of our 2.5-inch squares. And we're just going to have those pinned and prepped and ready to go. So after I sew these, I have these to just go ahead and sew. I don't have to stop, or I don't have to cut my thread. We're only doing 3 because one we're going to sew on there without the white square, and then we're going to attach our last white square to the last one of these. So we're just going to lay these piled up here just to the side. My sewing machine's right here. Lay this over with that one, and now we're going to head over to the sewing machine and start sewing. So I'm just going to line this up right there. I could take off my 1/4 inch foot here, but it won't affect it really, so I'm going to leave it on. And actually, you guys, I just actually fold this up, and I'm going to sew this other one. Just fold it up like that. If you're not confident with that, I do encourage you to use an ender or starter or whatever, or cut your thread. Don't do this if you're not comfortable with your skills. I'm going to do it again. I also have the diagonal seam tape here, so if I didn't have the line, I would just use this red line. But I do have the line, so it still lines up, doesn't really matter. Just if you didn't want to take the time to draw the line. The diagonal seam tape is on Amazon. I believe the Fat Quarter Shop maybe has it. So now I'm just going to cut those apart. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this off while I'm at it. And then I'm going to pop this other one up and do the same thing. Just sew right down it. Again, this is exactly how I did the first of this Easter block. But if you are not comfortable bending your fabric or molding it like that, don't do it. There's no shame. Do it however is comfortable for you. So now I'm just going to pull this up, one of those that we already prepped, and I'm going to stick it in there and sew down through. And then I'll leave it on there until I'm ready to sew the next step. We'll cut that off and apart. Let's bring you back over here with me. Now, we are going to iron these lines off first because we don't need them. See, my line isn't completely straight on the orange on that one either. No big deal, because we're going to cut it now. So now you could either do this 2 ways. I'm just going to use the scissors, but you could just line this up on the line you drew and then slice it off with the rotary cutter. Me, I'm not particular about it. I'm going to aim for a 1/4 inch and just trim it off, because it's close enough. This one too. And down here. If you're not comfortable just cutting it, then use the rotary cutter. And if you don't have a rotary cutter, you can still get plenty of sewing done. So now we're just going to iron these open. Alright, so actually, I was going to post this on next Sunday, but I might just post it early and have it not be on a Sunday. So now, this is sideways, just to show you. We're going to take our white strips, and in the cutting video, you guys, I told you too short on this, and I did put the correct measurement in the comments or the description, but I'm not sure if you caught it or you didn't. It is supposed to be 14.5. Well, I cut mine at 15 because I always cut bigger because it's only 1/2 inch. I can afford to eat that in fabric. Well, actually, I don't eat that in fabric because anything I trim off goes into pillow stuffing. I waste nothing. So if you think, oh man, she's wasting a lot of fabric there cutting that off, she's not. She's using it. My pillow's actually almost full. I'm pretty excited about that. All right, we're just going to pin this down. And the reason I'm pinning it is because it's so long. It just helps keep it straight. Turn it over and do the other side. This is a pretty quick one. Well, once you get the strips sewn together. See, that one goes over a little, but we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to pin it and trim it off at the end. Or leave it there and it'll just be a little bit bulky on there. All right. Now we're going to go sew these up. And then we just have to put the border on. It's pretty quick. Okay, so let's put it in there. Sometimes when I'm showing you guys how to do this, you'll see my fabric go a little wonky because usually I'm kind of like this, but I'm trying to stay out of the way of the camera, which looks like it's too bright in there a little. Not sure. But anyways, I'm trying to stay out of the view of the camera so you can actually see it in case you do have a question on it or anything. But if I'm blocking something, just let me know. And I'll see if I can fix it. Now I'm going to pull up another one of these strips with the white square. We're just going to sew down it so we can get to our other side of our egg. Trim it off. Flip it over. Pretty quick. I do like this block. I had several different eggs I was going to do, but this one turned out to be my favorite. Make sure to fold your seams the right way when you can catch it. Makes it lay flatter. Alright, and then our last little white strip, or white block with our border strip. We'll send it through. Now, let's head back over and iron these open. Maybe. There we go. Just cutting them apart. These you're going to iron to the long side, which happens to be colored, but it just, so it'll line up better with the other pieces on our block. Okay, so lay that one there too. We're going to iron these open. If these blocks were any bigger, I'd have to get out the bigger mat for pressing. I hope you guys are enjoying this sew along so far. Let me know. I do enjoy seeing all the blocks. Okay, now we are going to start at the top. We're going to take our one that we don't have anything sewn to, and we're just going to line it up here on the top. And see how mine goes a little over? I'm going to line it up with this piece first. I could trim that off, and some days I might. Today I'm not. I can also trim it off after it's sewn, but it doesn't really bother me right now. So we're just going to pin this, and we'll head over to the sewing machine and sew it down. ender in there since I'm all caught up and I don't have anything else here to sew. Okay, so let's cut this off. Iron it open while we're here. Lay it to the side. So here's what I'm going to do. Figured I should at least show you what I'm talking about. Sorry about that. I dropped a ruler. So I'm just going to line it up there. Lay my arm down on it. And that'll line it up real nice. And while I'm at it, I'm going to flip it over. Ooh, so sorry about that. Let me grab this other one. So then I'm going to line it up here too. I'm going to line up the corner. And that should line up both the edges. And trim that little bit off. And there's a little on the other side too. So if you like it nice and trim and square, this is what you do. Especially if your lines aren't lining up the way you want them and you want to cut a little extra fabric to make sure it does. That's how you trim it off. So now we're going to iron it open. There, that fell again. Did me no good to pick it up. We'll just leave it down there. Alright, now we just go around it just like every other time. We're going to pin it at the seam here. And about halfway down. And at the end. Head on over and sew it up. Ouch. Pins are sharp, people. Pins are sharp. And now, this little lip on my sewing machine always pushes my seam over, like the other way. So, I always lift it up there and try to fix it. I'm going to iron it open and put the next one on. I'll tell you what, a cameraman would be great. Someone to flip these cameras for me. That'd be amazing. Corner lined up pretty good. Excuse me. Alright, now just keep going around. I'm going to do this one. This one also has some sporadic edges. Not all that worried, but we now know how to trim it. Some of these needles, you guys, I gotta get rid of them. But then I feel like, well, they might work eventually. Do I really want to get rid of it? Alright. Head on over and we'll sew this one up. It pinched a little. No big deal. I've noticed this sewing machine doing that. The other one, same machine. The other one didn't do that though. Maybe I'll switch them back eventually. Maybe it's the foot. They use a different foot on the other one. So it very much could be. The foot. There it is. Alright. Just a couple more steps. See, also you could just take your scissors and run down through there. This fabric frayed, didn't it? Look at that. Okay. I really like this one. See, the truth is I could do the birthday cake one in just about any month. This month was my dad's birthday. Next month is my youngest son's birthday. The next month is my mom's birthday. So really, any of them could work for that birthday cake. You could throw it in anywhere. I'm just going to go sew up this last one. I measured it, so it's going to come out just about perfect. I'm not going to take you with me. It's going to be a real quick stitch. I know it looks like I waste a lot of thread doing that starter and stopper, but really, if you think about it, you could use so much more thread just by pulling it out and cutting it each time, which would be just wild, I think. So now we're just going to put this one here. I switched it because, well, they're about the same down there either way. It don't matter. I switched it because of the color, but I guess it wouldn't have mattered. We're just going to line up both our seams. And I'm going to throw one in the middle, just to keep it going a little bit straight. All right, let's go sew it over, or sew it up. All right. I like it. All right. Cut that one off too. It's very pastel and beautiful, and I really like this border fabric. And then I was going to use that on the back. I really was, but I chose this instead because look how beautiful it is. So I cut my 20.5-inch piece, and then I cut my batting already. And I was going to show you all, honestly, I was going to show every month I was going to quilt them on camera, but they're all the same, and I feel like maybe it's boring. Maybe you don't want to see it. Let me know if you want me to quilt them on camera and show, and I'll still show you me attaching them. But if you want me to quilt them on camera, let me know, and I'll do it. You know, I got to quilt them anyway. I might as well film it if you want to see it. But there it is, my Easter egg. I hope you are following along. I hope you make this block. I hope yours is going to turn out beautiful. I hope you post pictures. I can't wait to see pictures. And I'll see you next time. You guys have a great day.